Hello? Hello, is anyone in there? Can you hear me? Are you listening? Hey y'all, that is how you feel when you're workshopping sometimes. You're like, is there anyone out there? Is anyone paying attention to what I'm asking? Or are we just checking a box to get a grade? That has been my frustration with workshopping in the past. I had a horrible experience when I was at NC State at times with workshopping, because lots of times people were just in the class to get that creative check for graduation and didn't take the time to really understand what being a creative person is like. And at one point there was this young lady who had a brilliant concept, something that was unique and amazing, but everyone just ripped her to shreds because they weren't taking the time to figure out what she was doing. And no, it wasn't me, but I wish I'd had that great of an idea. I really appreciated on the snooze kind of concept behind the creative writing critique that you're supposed to be honest and never personal, because in that experience I felt like it was personal. There was a kind of a group that was just singling people out and kind of a Mean Girl thing, if y'all have seen that movie. It was horrible, but what else I appreciate is that SNU really embraces that it should be your ideas, that we should be critiquing your ideas and not what, if I read your paper or your story, that it's what I want it to become, it's what the author wants it to become, and that's how the critique and ideas and opinions should be framed. So I think that's awesome. I can really see the critiquing process being essential in the workplace. In my corporate background, I had to give feedback a lot and give feedback to written works as well as presentations. And just keeping that in mind, honest and never personal. I think that, if I go back to that setting, or if I'm a professor one day, being able to help people and not hurt them. And I think that goes to advice for peers. If this is your first workshopping experience, just remember it's not personal. None of it's personal. It's us trying to form the idea that you've presented and what our opinion is. And it's hard to do because, as it's said on the paper and as I've said before, it is your baby. But just remember that we're all here to help you. We want help, and me personally, I want to give help in return. I think this is really going to help me get out of the bubble of my work, because I don't know how other people are going to see it. In poetry workshops that I've had before, people have either gotten it or totally come up with something totally off the wall that I didn't intend. And I think if that happens, it tells you need to go back to the drawing board. But it doesn't mean that you should scrap what you've written. Maybe you should take the other person's perspective. Several times for me, the workshop process has started a whole new idea. Hey, I'm not getting this quite right, but I'm going to take this part and take it somewhere else. I am reading the Stephen King book. I know I've talked about that a lot and written about it a lot. But one of the most touching things, and this is going long, I'm sorry, I want to wrap it up soon. His love and romance with his wife is amazing to me. That's like a dream romance. It's obvious that he is still, after all these years, enthralled with his wife and dedicated to her. And they actually met in a workshopping environment, which is so cool. Her name's Tabitha, and they met back in 1969 when at the height of the hippie-ness. And the reason why he fell in love with her is because she got the craft and he got the craft, and he respected how she understood her craft. And it goes on in there. I'll probably type a quote to go with my video, because to me it's just so touching and amazing that we're not here to get a romance out of this, but there's several friendships that can be formed and lifelong bonds by giving good feedback. And I am thankful for all of my friends here and look forward to hearing what you have to say.